Good evening, my dear friends. Welcome to all, one and all, from a very cold, a very gelid, a very freezing New York City. And I understand parts of the country, including my native Florida, are looking at temperatures we haven't seen. What is it called, my friend? Weaponized weather. Don't ever let anybody fool you. Okay? We'll talk about that one day, but not right now. First of all, hearty hello and a hi, silver, and a welcome, my friend, because we're going to be talking about a lot that's going on right now. A lot that is going on. But before I begin, let me say to Yvette Leblowitz, thank you, Lionel, for your wisdom with authentic charisma. Your talks are appreciated. People who ask questions aren't crazy, but instead curious. Absolutely 100% correct. And thank you for that. Let me tell you what's going on right now for those of you who are new to this, especially if you are new, welcome. What you are seeing, what we are talking about here, is not a headline, because we're going to be doing kind of a like a marriage, if you will, kind of a melding of what's going on with Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk and Candace on one side, and the Epstein files to an extent on others. Not so much the specifics, but what they have in common. Because what we're talking about is not a headline. It's not a trending topic. It's not some X or social media cycle. This is something, my friend, older than politics and louder than propaganda. This is about a moment when a society decides whether it still recognizes right from wrong. Let me just say that. This is about good versus evil. It does not get any more simple than this. You can call it Manichaean, you can call it Abecedarian, you can call it whatever you would like. It is something so monumentally easy to understand. I can't put it into words, but I'll try. Something tells me I'll come up with a few things. Because what we're talking about right now is something where people, you are being told, whether it's Epstein, whether it's Charlie, whether whatever. This is none of your business. Shut up, donate, go away. If you say something against Charlie or against TPUSA or Erica Kirk, you're an anti-Semite, you're a racist, you're an anti, whatever you are. You're something. Just shut up and go in the corner. As far as Epstein goes, shut up. We don't want your opinion about him. We say he dispatched himself. That's the story. Shut up. This is what they're telling you. This is what they're telling you. They outsourced conscience or something. All they care about is the way it is. We're going to take care of it. Okay. You got your files. Now be happy and go away. What's going to be done by this? Nothing. What's going to be done? Nothing. Nothing's going to be done. Nothing's going to be done. What's going to be done to vindicate and to seek justice for Charlie? Nothing. Don't forget this. This isn't about Candace. With all due respect, we love her. It's not about Candace. It's not even about Erica to an extent. It's about Charlie. Is anybody speaking for him? Is anybody through the procedure and the bureaucracy and the hollow talking points? Is anybody even talking about him anymore? Seriously? If it wasn't for Candace Owens, there'd be nobody. And this is driving people crazy. What they're doing is they're saying, in essence, that it's about her. And you're jealous. Or it's about, I don't know what they're saying. Good day, my friend Raul. Thank you. I don't know what people think. They're trying their best to just shift the blame. You really think this is about jealousy? If it wasn't for Candace, nobody would be saying anything. Nobody. And only in America did we luck out by having somebody who was so profoundly as stupid as Erica Kirk, who didn't understand what's going on, who believes her own schmaltz, her own story. She believes it. She, honest to God, believes. She believes she's special. I know that may sound cruel, but it's true. Look, I've seen these people before, so have you. People who live in a different world, in a kind of parallel universe. But Charlie now, this is what we're talking about. Not because he's the center of the universe, but because, very simply put, what happened around him exposed something very raw, very ugly about the world that we're living in. This is evil stuff. The same people that took him out took out Epstein. Now, remember, different perhaps modalities. Think about it. We can make all kinds of connections. I can take the little pins in the board and connect red yarn, and I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if the same people who got rid of him got rid of Charlie. Because if you believe I'm buying this story about Tyler Robinson, if you think for 1 minute that I'm believing this story, you don't know me. Not because I reject stuff. Sometimes that's exactly what happens. That's it. But we have a bad habit in this country of not looking deeper. And it takes somebody who, if we had had a Candace Owens, we would have gotten to the bottom of Butler, Pennsylvania, because you could forget anything you want. You can forget anything you want about Cash Patel. Sherry, thank you so much, Sherry. Sherry Mercado, thank you so much for this. This is if it were not for Candace Owens, we'd have nobody talking about this. Nobody. And were it not for the fact that this Erica Kirk is so stupid, it would have died a long time ago. This could have been rerouted. Had these people, I think they're children. Have you seen them? They're children. They live in this rarefied world of something, I don't know, but they really think that they're special. Simon says, Quebec 2026, expose the Kabbalah. Okay. All right. If we have time, my friend. Eric is Jezebel and Candace is Elijah. Very interesting. Now, I got to tell you something. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things. Let me just warn you. For those of you who watch me for the first time and who are coming on board, I'm going to be jumping all over the place. I'm going to be going from topic to topic to topic to topic. Hang on. This is not your grandfather's story. I don't, I tend to spin about because right now my head is exploding. Okay? Exploding. And you are a testament to people that we're not going away. I'm not, by the way, I'm not going to do, with all due respect, I love a lot of these great channels. I'm not going to just repeat what Candace has done and play the same videos. Here we go. Here's what she said. That's not my style. I'd rather just talk and tell you, you know what it's about. I know what it's talking. You know what I mean? I'd rather just talk with you. You and me as an adults. I don't want to go back and through this. I'm just saying. I'm not, God bless everybody from Wolves and have you to Brandon, to Jimmy Dore, to everybody. I mean, people are really, people that we may not have necessarily agreed with. Let me give you an example. You know, I've always had a lot of respect is Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's got to be very careful because he's talking to, when he had, I used to call him junk yogurt, bless his heart, but when he's talking about, you know, APAC or whatever, remember something, Tucker. These are people who say and have said terrible things about people that we might enjoy. Even though I understand the notion of severability, I understand that you could say, well, we might disagree with this, but I agree with him regarding such and such. People don't care for that. You have a very, I don't want to say a hard look, but you have a, put it this way, do not with you, okay? Do not, FAFO. You're very, very serious. And I would tell people regarding this particular group, I call ourselves the Conspiratorium, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Conspiratorium. Call it what you want. That's who we are. That's who we be. But you demand loyalty. And if somebody turns on you, they don't turn back. And I'm with you on that one. See, sometimes people, especially when they are trying to shop around an idea in the world of YouTube or these platforms, they'll say, hey, I'm going to go there. Why? Well, I'm going to tap into this group. That's a good-looking group there. Excuse me. You said some terrible things about them. Yeah. But I'll find out something that we agree with. Wait a minute. You can't buy them, meaning you. If Ben Shapiro came up all of a sudden and said, hey, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm with you. Get out of here. So I want to understand the rudiments of this. We may also be confused. Let me go through a few things. Number one, this is not about Candace. I love her to death. It's bigger than Candace. Bigger. It's we happen to share. We support her because were it not for her, I'm going to say it again, and I repeat myself. I tend to repeat myself. Were it not for Candace Owens, nobody would be talking nothing about this. Nobody. It would be like forgotten. Like everything else. Like Butler, Pennsylvania. Like an assassination attempt against a president. Like nothing happened. They just don't talk about anything. The Epstein case. They're wasting a lot of time talking about the specifics and getting a little bit kind of like titillated over some of the information. Now, granted, I guess it's going to be, I guess it's good. Bill Gates got this, he got the clap, and this one's over here, and read this and that. But what are we learning from this? What are we learning from this? Don't get caught up in the specifics of the tawdry details. I know it's great, but understand what they did. I came out first, along with other people, and said that Mr. Epstein, by virtue of what? The pathologist's report, the medical examiner's report, the great Michael Baden showed you. You can see it. Hyoid bone, thyroid cartilage. That is not suspension ligature. It may sound kind of dry. That's the gold standard. That's it. There are certain things that are important. During the George Floyd case, the toxicology reports that the judge wanted to keep out. That's where you go. I'm a prosecutor by profession. That's what I did. Now I'm a trial lawyer, but I know we're kind of the same. It just depends on the side. That's what matters. If you're charged with DUI, what do you think matters? The blood results, the blood test. And if there's no blood test, if you refuse, it's what people observe. Not who you are. No, it's very cut and dry. Very cut and dry. I don't care about that other kind of stuff. I don't worry about that. I don't worry about, when it comes to criminal matters, I worry about this. I worry about the specifics. And if you think that Tyler Robinson acted alone, or if we know more of the story, because we really don't, one of the reasons why I was hoping to God they were going to do a preliminary hearing was that we could hear it. In certain jurisdictions, if you do not have a preliminary hearing, if probable cause was never established, by the way, what's probable cause? It means he probably did it. But if probable cause is not established, then you have to have a preliminary hearing to see whether you have enough evidence to hold him. You always do. In the event of a grand jury that indicts, that eliminates that necessity because the grand jury has already figured out probable cause by virtue of the indictment or the true bill. That's not here. But I was waiting. Please put on your evidence. Let's see it. And they said, no. They don't want people to know this because I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't want to go through the business of predicting. But don't be surprised if one day you wake up and Mr. Robinson suffers a similar fate to Mr. Epstein. And you know what the world would do? Nothing. Nothing. Unless Candace Owens said something on it. There's nobody right now, I think, in this world, in our world, who is as powerful as she is. As big as Joe Rogan is, and I love him to death, and AJ to an extent, nobody is as powerful as she is. Nobody. I mean, the popularity is one thing, but powerful? She's so thorough in terms of going over the facts of the case. He said this, and this. So-and-so came to me. Her name is this. I know this. This is what happened. Their name is this. TPUSA. Here's the evidence. I love that stuff. Not generic thoughts about whatever it is. Let me also tell you another point, too. We don't care about what Erica looks like. We don't care about anything other than her veracity as a witness now. We don't care about her prior dating life. Only if it refutes what she's saying now. If she says, I've never dated before, and she dated, that's called impeachment. In law, in the courtroom, when I want to affect somebody's credibility by showing prior inconsistent statements, that's called impeachment. You impeach the witness. You bring up something prior inconsistent evidence, lying, prior convictions, bias, a lot of things. That's called impeachment. That's when you affect credibility, and then you turn the witness back over to either the jury or the judge in the non-jury case, who was the trier of fact. And the jury says, we're going to get rid of this. We're not even going to listen to this evidence. Why? Well, because the prosecutor or defense lawyer impeached her credibility or his credibility. Ms. Kirk, did you say on the 15th of September in a deposition that you had never dated before? Yes. I'd like to show you who is this guy? Is this Massey? What's his name? That's your boyfriend, right? You were dating, right? Yeah. So were you lying then or are you lying now? By the way, in cross-examination, only uses leading questions. Only use leading questions. Never open-ended questions. Remember, the cross-examination is the other person's witness. Direct examination is your witness. Who, what, when, where, why. But the other side, you could use leading questions. Questions that suggest the answer. Isn't it true you've never been to Cincinnati? You never played the ocarina, did you? You never went to third grade, did you? You're not a lawyer, are you? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. A lawyer a question that can be answered yes or no or suggests a yes or no answer is a leading question. They're the best. They're the best. Only on cross-examination, which means the other side's witness. And the reason why is the rules of evidence say this person is probably not going to be on your side. So we'll give you a leeway. We'll let you ask some leading questions. Your witness, this is your witness. Why do you have to ask leading questions? Who, what, when, where, why? You don't get to do that. Why? It's your witness. You've talked to him before. He's on your side. Candace would be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Can you imagine that? Now, there are other things too. Whenever somebody in law lies or says something wrong, sometimes it's not a critical issue. It's collateral. It's a collateral issue. You said you wore a red dress. It was a blue dress. You said it was Tuesday. It was a Wednesday. Well, yeah, okay. Collateral, not really important, not material. There's so much. But after a while, the jury hears this. It's like, did this person ever said anything? She volunteered all this information and now she's changing her mind? What's going on here? Why are they lying? Let me tell you one thing about something. When somebody tells you a story, they tell you the same story every single time. When we used to do our own intake, if ever we went to trial, you talk to somebody. And if they talk about an armed robbery or something that occurred on January the 5th of last year, and they talk about they walked into the store and they realized, oh my God, I smell the coffee. I must have left the coffee on. And I realized, hey, how come the dog's loose? And it was raining and this and the smell. And 6 months down the road, a year, you get the person back. Tell me about what happened this morning. I walked in, I could smell the coffee. Somebody left the coffee machine. It was burning. It was the dog. They remember everything. They don't miss anything. It's seared in their mind. Oh, there might be something, but when you're lying and you don't care about the truth and you're perpetuating some kind of an image, you forget what you've said. Especially when you feel you don't understand. I'm Erica Kirk. I'm a genius. They love me. You don't understand. They love me. I'm sexy. I'm hot. I'm a Christian. I was married. I grace the, get away from me. I'm going to talk to them on the Zoom. Don't you understand? Hey guys. You're amazing. These poor people haven't worked 90 hours. I want to go home. And listen, we should go home, take a shower, and go right back to work because we got to sell that merch. Charlie would have wanted that way. And the best line is, we all grieve a little differently. Have you met friends of yours who are, or read these people who are just I heard one guy before on X. I said, "You got to be kidding me! What kind of a benighted moonbat said this?" He said, "The women are jealous of Eric." I was like, "Is that the best you can do? Jealous, jealous." But I got to tell you something. All right, it's me. I'm going to be honest with you. Charlie may not have been the most experienced. He's like a young man. I'll bet he's very smart. But I don't know if he's ever met an Erica, an operator. You ever had that before? You ever had a son or daughter of yours or somebody you say, uh-oh, you see right through them, and women especially. They say, "Oh, I know who this is. Oh, I know what this is. Oh, she's an operator." He doesn't see it. I don't know how sharp Charlie was. I really don't know in terms of matters of this, especially somebody who's a professional grifter. She is slick. Oh my God. She knows the act. Charlie had one act. Charlie. That was it. Remember that? There's a girl, blah, blah, blah. Charlie, Bobby Shorten. Anyway. Shelley Hack. Remember her? She was the Charlie girl. What am I talking about? I'm dating myself. I don't think Charlie really, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he knew. He had she just got her claws into him and she knew exactly what it was. Oh, all of a sudden she's the most Christian thing anybody's ever seen. Charlie, I believe it. And by the way, remember something. This is not about Christianity. It's not about religion. It's not about any of that stuff. It's not about any of that stuff. But you and I know that people have views from Jim Baker to Jimmy Swagger to Elmer Gantry and Facing a Crowd and all the themes of these Benny Hinn and faith healers and Ernest Angley. By the way, I was slain in the spirit by Ernest Angley. I love evangelicals. Studied them one time. They're the great. They were the great. I used to go to tent shows, tent revivals, just as a fan. It was a form of it's very old American, if you will. And what I noticed was these people were terrific. They were fantastic. She knows how to read people. She knows just how to read people. The look. Oh, God. And I don't know if he... Look, there's no evidence, by the way, of her having anything to do with any of this stuff. As far as being involved in it, per se. A good friend, Raul, said Charlie did not have street smarts. Maybe not. Thank you, Living. Thank you. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. How many times, yes or no? Give me a one. Give me one if you've seen this. You ever seen this before? It's easy now when you're older, too, but when you're younger, you've got a son or a daughter, and you say, "Son, this is an operator." "Dad, you don't understand. I love her." And then they turn on you. They turn on you. "Son," or normally it's a boy, a young man. Women are smarter. They turn on you. "First time I fall in love, and this is what you do to me? Son, I'm looking out for your best interest. You don't understand. You're jealous." Jealous. She's a grifter. Shut up. Oh, my God. And then if she's smart, she'll pit the family. Oh, my God. Ooh-wee. You ever see Charlie? Ever see, Charlie's family? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? What's going on here? Remember, if there's no Candace, nobody asks any questions. Nobody. So I liked him. I think he was wonderful. I'm going to say this again to you. The number of people that I knew whose kids were absolutely just not who were waylaid, gobsmacked, just caught off guard with Charlie's dispatch. I couldn't believe it. And people have said all the time, I can't believe that my son loved Charlie Kirk this much. I never knew. A lot of people said this. He had more, dare I say, closet fans than anybody could ever know. It was the most incredible thing. I'm telling you, there were people who were absolutely without a doubt, they were just, my God, they were just destroyed by this. I never knew it. I never knew. I never would have guessed for a moment that he carried that much weight. Never. Never. This is why he was so great. This is why he was so terrific. This is the guy who says, by the way, celibacy, no sex before marriage. What? I'd say, Charlie, are you out of your mind? But people liked it. Let me tell you something. A couple of things to know here. First, I do not want to be one of these people who always makes fun of young people. I love young people because they're going to be us. Young people, you were young, we were young, everybody's young. It's the beautiful part about being young is you don't know. You're not stupid. You're not stupid. It's just you just haven't learned yet. And by the way, I got news for you. And I'm going to tell you something. Just because you're older doesn't mean you're smarter. Oh, older people. Oh, we're so wise. Bullshit. I'm telling you, sometimes it's even worse because we think we know everything. You don't know anything. Okay? Now, there's some things that are funny. Give an example. Gen Z, whatever these people are. Gen Alpha, all these. I can't keep track of this stuff. Do you know one of the most popular shows on cable today and elsewhere in streaming was Friends? Did you know that? Did you know that? Why? Why is that? Because people were saying, what were they doing? Who? What were they doing? Those people, yeah. They're friends. You mean they all were friends? Yeah. They were friends? Yeah. Wow. Did they do this a lot? Yeah. Is this normal? Yeah. You had friends. Now, granted, they had an apartment in New York. That would have been about, $50,000 a month, but still. You know what else was one of the biggest shows ever? Ready for this? Sopranos. You know why? Young people were saying, Gen Xers or whatever these young people were saying, did you hear what they said? They used the N-word. He goes, yeah, these are gangsters. This was violent. Yeah. This is pretty cool. It's a great story. You like this? Yeah. You want to see The Godfather? Yeah. Kids don't go to the movies today. They don't go to the movies. You're introducing them. Let me tell you what else is big. And you see it here in New York a lot of times. You'll see people who love to play board games. And people who want to go to church. And people who like stuff. And people who want to... Let me tell you something. We had a woman one time ask my wife, Mrs. L, she said, this was somebody she worked with. This was somebody on paper who really, really, was very educated, very smart. And this woman asked my wife, what is it? Tell me what dating is like. What was dating? Not hooking up, not, all that stuff. Dating. Seeing somebody. Courting. Seduction. Raul says, Charlie met the same fate as basketball players by beauties. Yeah, but I don't think that his fate was not because of his connection with the women. That's a different story. I mean, we all have our ideas. But what I'm saying, thank you, by the way, Raul. But what I'm saying is people wanted to know, younger people, about different things like courting and love letters. Love letters? What's a love letter? They have no idea. So what I'm saying is, here comes Charlie. And he said something. He said, let me tell you something. It's good to have a family, to go to church, this is great stuff. To be a dad, to be a mom. Many, many people also sometimes want to go back and be a father, be a parent. Sometimes to replicate the good parents they had, or to go back and correct what they themselves missed. And he tapped into it. I don't know if Erica was, or if she was as much into that as he was. I really don't know. I don't know what to believe with her. I really don't. I swear to you, I just don't know what to believe. But he's gone now. Who else? Nobody. And they still think they're going to draw people into TPUSA for what? What are you going to do? Tell them what? These people? Let me ask you something. Do any of you want Erica Kirk talking to your daughter about what makes a wife? Huh? Anybody? She actually thinks. She thinks that she's the gold standard for this. When she, I'm sorry to say this, when she allowed that picture of Charlie's dead hand in the casket, that's it. To get the shot of me, did you get me over the thing? Yeah, okay. You showed people this? I thought we're dealing with something here that cannot be explained. Okay? They cannot be explained. Now let me go through another thing too. Kind of a little parallel. What you're going to be hearing with the Epstein case is case after case, instance after instance of what appears to be predation. You see, this is what Mrs. L, who I tell you, from Lynn's Warriors, at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube, this is what she's about. She's when I'll let her tell you what she's doing right now. There is something I'm going to explain to you called evil. Now, evil is something that I think it's a word that's used too much. I don't think it. I think it's used too much because a lot of times people are just bad. They're just bad. There's Bobby. Bobby says, "Hi, Lionel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, sir." And Elle says, "You can take away the disturbing face behind you." Oh, can you take it? Oh, yeah. That's my... Are you kidding? I got that at... This is... What, this? This is from Michael's. This is my Dracula. I put my keys and stuff in here. I'll move it if you want. Thank you. Like my hand model? I'll let it go there. Anyway. Steve says, how often have we seen Erica with the kids after the... Yes, you gotta be careful with that word. Yes, none. And by the way, that's good though. I will say this. One thing that they did, what I think is terrific, was they never showed any pictures of the kids. Never. Whenever they were out and about, whenever they were doing something, they had the kids' faces turned. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. That's why nobody should ever have kids. Nobody should ever have kids on the show. There's Edie says, please follow Lynn's Warriors. Absolutely, Edie. Thank you, dear heart. Edie's a good friend. You should never do this. But let me explain something to you. And this is what's interesting. We use the word sometimes evil. Evil. I've done a lot of studying on serial killing and a lot of other stuff too. And believe it or not, their job is not to exact evil. It is to exact for themselves a selfish kind of a consumption. They figuratively, not literally, want to consume and control something else through not just the usual forms of attack, but through sometimes consumption by taking things like trophies, by going back, by doing ritualized, I'm not going to go into detail. It's to take the person and consume it. Something else comes along. And this is the idea of innocence. Innocence. In a lot of, I think I told you this before, but in being from Florida, there are some things I've run into like the Santero, Santeria, Brujeria, black magic, voodoo. And by the way, Santeria is not that bad, but one of the things they believe in, why animal sacrifice is so important, is the life blood, the heart, the energy, the spirit, God's little jumper cables. That's what you want. Doesn't matter what the particular thing is. It's a pigeon, it can be anything. It's the idea of a beating heart and the energy that animates this thing. That's the story. Now, what's also interesting to know, which is critical, is that when it comes to children in particular, since the beginning of time of sacrifice is this thing that we refer to called innocence. That is what it's about. Innocence. desecration, destruction, the vilification, the expunction, the grinding out, not of a life, but something that you took, what do you want to say, God's creation, God's innocence, and you desecrate, you destroyed it. And it has to be the robbing of it. To see the look in their eyes, turn off. To destroy. I don't want to get too much into this, but understand something. That is evil. That's evil. See, other people will say, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Not that I'm trying to compare this, but what I'm telling you, there are people who do things where they just will say, I'm in it for myself. I'm into my own particular gratification or pleasure, and that's it. I'm moving on. That's it. You also get into something which is called sadism. And sadism is another thing, too, because sadism is what we see a lot of times, budding sadists in schools who are bullies. What is a bully? A bully is somebody who not only enjoys jurisdictional, territorial foundation, prowess, but loves to destroy and crush the spirit of somebody else. You see where I'm getting at? It's to crush somebody. I want to see you afraid. I don't need to do this. I'm older than you. I'm bigger than you. I don't need this. I want to see you afraid. I want to destroy. That's what a bully is. I get a kick out of seeing you squirm, out of seeing you cry. I get a kick. It is sadistic. That's why if you have a kid who's a bully, whatever you do, stop. Stop. They always talk about the big three in serial killing. They say that there's a link between enuresis, or bedwetting, teasing animals, and arson. Yeah. But not everybody who has those three grows up to be, Gary Heidnik. So, this is what we're talking about. This is the Epstein thing here. Now let's also talk about something. Charlie. Charlie got in the way. Charlie got in the way. Charlie had nothing to do. The trans story is bullshit. You think they got rid of Charlie because he was the most loving? He said something. He didn't even say anything that was even remotely. By the way, there's a big case that came out on X. I put this thread up there. There was a case where somebody awarded $2 million for a woman who had a mastectomy as a child by virtue of these sick people. Those are another ones. These people who wanted to do this by destroying kids, basically puberty blocking and destroying them of their gender and their promise and their... God, think about this. Not only do I want to destroy the child, I want the child's ability to be a mom, a dad, to perpetuate the species. I also want to destroy it. I want to get as many crazy people as possible. It's weird. It's like Baphomet. It's eyes wide shut. It is weird. And they're all over the place. You can call it satanic. It's not satanic. It's just evil. There are people who have nothing to do with Satanism. They do this for the sake of the horror that is extracted. Now, we've got to address this. But the problem is, there's a lot of people, I'm not going to mention any names, but there are some people who go out there and they're not crazy, but they talk a lot of nonsense. And they hurt our cause. They hurt our cause. If I saw you in public, on my private channel, I talk about it, but there's a lot of stuff where stay away from it. Let me give you an advice, a little bit of advice. You know how you win people over? You know how? You know how? First, when you want to talk about Candace, ask the following questions. Don't say anything. Ask questions. Say, are you familiar with Candace? Are you? So you find out, well, what do you mean? Well, this is why I like her. There's always a reason for what she wants to why she's doing things. For example, in the Brigitte Macron thing, what she will tell you, my beef is not that you might be a feller. That's not it. It's the other aspects, which are the subject, by the way, of the 19-count complaint. But this was her friend. She loved Charlie. She loved him. They were friends. Big sister, big. I don't think there was any kind of... Charlie was kind of a little bit of a goof, I think, but in a good way. There's an innocence behind him. That's the beauty of him. He was he's just a good person. And I don't think he was hardened by life. I don't think he was really tough. When I mean tough like we are sometimes. Tough. When you've seen some things after a while, I mean, it doesn't, put it this way. I think seeing things in life actually makes you a better person because it makes you more appreciative of the beauty of things and good people. To other people, it destroys you. But I don't think Charlie ever saw this. I think Charlie believed this. I think Charlie believed that he never saw the people around him who used him, who said, we're going to make a fortune with this guy. We can make a fortune. He's the golden calf. He's it. I don't think he realized it. I don't think he realized it with her. I just don't think so. And in a way, that's good. That goes to show you his innocence. But innocent people get hurt sometimes. Because they lead with their chin, and they don't realize how evil people are. But I think what they did was, somebody said, okay, Charlie's got to go. He's got to go. Now, why? We can argue all day long. I know there are people I know who have their own hypotheses. But if you've seen something, maybe you can inform us, because I haven't seen anything. I don't know who it will be. I have a list of suspects, but it's not Tyler Robinson. No way. Let me also say something. Are you familiar with LIHOP and MIHOP? LIHOP and MIHOP. For those of you who are new to the conspiratorium, I'll give you a couple of things here. First, LIHOP, L-I-H-O-P, is let it happen on purpose. I know it's coming. I know it's going to. I don't get in the way. You know what I'm saying? For Halo says, love listening to you, Lionel, intelligent, articulate, compassionate, statesman, scholar, and sage. Thank you for that. Ooh, a sage. I'm actually more of oregano. And thank you. But there's this, how do I say this? There's this story that doesn't make any sense. And I don't think anybody's paying attention. But somebody along the way said, Charlie's got to go. He's got to go. So LIHOP, let it happen on purpose. Maybe, unless you talk to Tyler Robinson, you don't know anything. You got to sit down and tell this guy, listen, kid, let me ask you a question. Anybody threaten you anything? Anybody tell you to keep this? He has family. Anybody threaten you to, is this your story? Because I'm seeing some things, Tyler, here that don't make any sense. I'm your lawyer. By the way, I don't think I'd be in a room. I wouldn't be saying anything. I'd be writing it down and tearing it up. They're going to be listening to him. But if I could ask him, I said, did anybody threaten you? Like they did to Berkowitz. Remember Berkowitz's story? He said it was a Satanist. Son of Sam, remember that? Son of Sam in snuff films? That's what he said. And they threatened his family. Whatever. Was this your idea? Take me through this. Take me through this, Tyler. When did you realize it's overwhelming? When you went kind of seems to be like a good kid, smart kid, ACT, whatever he aced, whatever it was. He's got his girlfriend, he's what have you. Then all of a sudden, lo and behold, he starts acting crazy. Dave says, Lionel, with all that is coming out, do you think we will really have a revolution? No. Also, I felt bad for Candace. I know she's strong, but it has to suck. Sort of. I think so, too. She's a human being. Can you imagine what by the way, thank you. Can you believe what they say to her behind her back? Can you believe what they say? Can you believe the threats and the viciousness? The viciousness. Oh, my God. You should see the stuff I get. But that's always a sign you're over the target. But thank you. LIHOP. Let it happen on purpose. Make it happen on purpose. Recruiting somebody. Going out. I don't know. But do you think Tyler on his own say, Tyler, this is, you've never so much have had a parking ticket in your life. You were so enraged by this mild-mannered You drove for how many hours? Did you know about this? And you took your grandpa a shooting iron? How much did you fire that weapon? How good a shot are you? Is it that hard? I don't know. Everybody, of course, is an expert. But I'd have some experts. I'd go to my expert witnesses, consultants, and say, could you have done this? Could a civilian have done this? No spotter, no nothing, no, just one shot? One shot, one kill, remember that? Do you think that could have happened? Does this make sense to you? Let them see it and say, oh yeah, it's a lot easier than you think. Okay, maybe it is. But Tyler, why'd you do this? I'm just curious. Why would you throw everything away? You're a young man, and of all the people in the world, I can think of some other people who are a lot more virulent in the anti-trans message than this. But why did you do this? See what the family think. Where's his family? See what his friends think. If his friends say, that's not him. Did he ever talk to you about that? No. Now, what am I thinking of, my friend? What does it sound like? Mark David Chapman? Sirhan, or Sirhan? MK Ultra, baby. Oh. Now, mind control. By the way, MK is not mind control. It's not what you think. It's a different story. But that's that 2-digit CIA kind of a. But the idea of the Manchurian candidate getting somebody, absolutely. Our good friend Rozamet says, seems like Charlie Kirk refused overtures by Netanyahu's minions, so he called him personally, thinking he wouldn't dare say no to me. The East, unfortunately, is history. The rest is history, rather. You know, I know what you're thinking about that. I know what you're thinking. But if I had to, I go one of three different ways. One, the forces that we're talking about are so determined, anybody gets in their way, they figure we ourselves are supposedly bulletproof, and we're going to take them out. Number two, I could see a BB saying, are you kidding me? That's the first thing. Remember, though, he said right off the bat, he said, first thing was, I didn't do that. We didn't do that. A little quick there, wasn't it? The argument could be made. That's the last thing. I mean, he was important, but not that important. Do you mean to tell me, seriously, with all that's going on, he would have put us over the edge? You also have other people. Remember something. Remember. How do I tell you this? When you're in the business, you don't have a business card. You don't say, I'm with the CIA. I got a parking spot at Langley. No. There is no Intel. Is a group of people that aren't even Intel. Half of the times, if you want to have something done, you go elsewhere. We do stuff for other people, and I'm not suggesting this was what happened. You want something, you want somebody bugged? CIA can't bug people in this country. That goes against their charter. Fine. Go to Five Eyes, get somebody else. Talk to your British friend. Can you bug this guy for me? Sure. Okay. I didn't bug him. We bug people all the time. We bug people all the time in other countries. And we'll give it to other people. But other people, for example, if I bug somebody in the UK, guess what? That's their... If MI5 or 6 wants it, there is no such thing as CIA. There aren't groups of people that say, well, when I worked for the CIA, you may work and say, I don't know who I'm working for. Plausible deniability. I don't know. Ex-military jackals. Remember Diary of a Economic Hitman? Perkins? Fantastic. The jackals. I love that. Ex-military. You get somebody who comes in, does the thing, moves on. I don't know who that was. I have no idea. No idea. Johnny says, my smartphone is a Stasi A50. There you go. You think somebody knows what the Stasi are? Do you remember one of the best examples ever? JFK. This is the best. This is the best. Do you think J. Edgar Hoover picked up the phone? Do you think Mac Wallace, LBJ, picked up the phone and said, let's do this, get my fingerprints all over it? Do you think CIA did this? A lot of stuff could not have been done without their help. All of a sudden, weird, who designed this parade route? That's not organized crime. They can do this. But Lucien Sarti, that's the guy I'm putting my money on. Badge man, famous assassin, Corsican, Marseille. Used to love to wear uniforms. Remember that badge man? Frangible bullets, that's his MO. They got him in Mexico City in 72. These are professionals. These are professionals. They don't. Who got them? I don't know. Carlos Marcello could have had a hell of a lot to do with them because of Dallas and New Orleans. But these guys came in through Mexico, up, crossed the border, got there about a month, hung out, looked around, scoped it out. Afterwards, went back, laid low, wait for a week, 2 weeks, then went back down again, back through Mexico. Couple of people. These are professionals. They do their job, scope it out. Meanwhile, J. Edgar says, I don't know who this is. CIA says, I don't know who this is. Alan Dulles says, I don't know who this is. Remember that scene? Remember that scene when Bush was at the Sarasota Elementary School on 9/11? Remember that? And Andy Card came in and whispered. Remember that look on his face? Remember that? What do you think went through his head that day? What do you think Bush did? You think Bush ordered that? No. You think Bush knew it was going to happen? No. But when it happened, Bush said, I don't know who that is. Who? Those people. There is no team. It's those people. That's the way that works. Oh, what works indeed. Yep. They've always been. Thank you, my friend Steve. And by the way, it was different. It was a different world then to an extent. But today, we have something better than ever. We have the internet to completely wear people out. I always ask the question, if on September the 23rd, 22nd, rather, excuse me, if on the grassy knoll, if everybody had a smartphone, would that have been thwarted? Would we have caught the person? No. There's an inverse proportionality. The more people who know about it, the less legitimate it would be, because there'd be all these people making these claims. No. Zapruder, some guy with a camera, which, by the way, the FBI or they doctored, but oh no. I want you to remember this one line. Marshall McLuhan said, little lies are hard to keep secret, but big lies are easy because of the incredulity. Meaning, if I said to you, do you know that there was a group of people that came regarding JFK? And it went probably something like this. Nobody ever had to say to somebody, LBJ, to J. Edgar Hoover, to whatever, to Carlos Marcello, to Santo Trafficante, to Johnny Roselli, to any of the people that we had, because the OSS and these guys were working hand in hand. Nobody said, I think it's time to hit him. No. What do you think they did instead? It was probably something as innocuous as, there sure is a problem. It sure is. It's a big problem. Wish we didn't have that problem. Gotcha. That's it. And then the next thing you know, before you know it, logistics are in place that will blow your mind. Blow your mind. Do you ever think about this? When we decided, okay, let's go to Iraq, do you know what we had to do to get everybody there? Do you know those are the heroes, if there are heroes? Those are the guys who did stuff that blows my mind. Do you know how easy this is? I don't have to break foot. How many people you need? I want a team. Okay. It's going to be right there. Okay. We're going to slow down. This is JFK. We're going to slow it down here. School book depository. Who's the patsy? Who's the patsy? Tyler Robinson. Lee Harvey Oswald. He's going to be there. Remember right before JFK? What did they do? They had him, they had Lee Harvey Oswald, Fair Play for Cuba, on radio shows. I mean, he should have known. My God, you're setting you up. You're setting you up. Oh, my God. They're letting people know, yeah, that guy, I remember him. And once it starts, that's it. Once it starts. And people want an answer. They want finality. They hate the idea that we haven't gotten to the point yet. Who did it? Can you imagine if Tyler gets on the stand and you say, ladies and gentlemen, this guy did it? That's why it scares me, because if Tyler goes away, it's over with. And who would say anything? He said, well, he was a troubled kid. He's a troubled kid. Remember what I said before. Little lies are hard to keep secret, but big lies are easy because of incredulity. If I'm telling you that there was this group of people, you go, oh, come on. Would you stop that? How many of you get that? Would you stop that? Are you the conspiracy theorist in your family? You got to meet my cousin Jake. Oh, God, this guy. How many of you believe in weather manipulation? Absolutely. Geoengineering? Geoengineeringwatch.org? Dane Wigington? Yeah. Hello? Yeah. Right. Where do I sign up? You do what? Yeah. And I didn't just make this up. There's L Raleigh said, thanks, Lionel. Love you and your wife. Thank you so much for that. You're very kind. Love my wife, too. She's my hero. When you tell somebody this, here's what they do too. Remember in there was a CIA memorandum. You can get it. You can get it online. Read it. And it was about weaponizing the term conspiracy theory, because the Zapruder. This was before the Zapruder film. Before it. Thank you, Susie. I like that, Susie. Very good. It's like Susie and the Banshees. Remember that? They had these folks who were trying to convey different ideas and thoughts or whatever it was. Make a long story short. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm going to give you an example of stuff. The CIA came up with this thing that said we have to put out through our Mockingbird word. Remember Operation Mockingbird, which they said was bullshit too. And it's true. We know that. Phil Graham from the Washington Post. Remember when they said Bilderberg was bullshit? Remember that? You're crazy. They have a website. Anybody upon it? Remember Jim Tucker and Alex Jones? God bless them. They put them. Anyway. So what they do is they put out this word and said, make sure you tell people to follow. Do you understand? This is what they do. Do you understand how many people you have to keep quiet? People can't keep quiet. You can't pull something like this off without the rest of the world knowing. What are you, crazy? You're nuts. You're crazy. Something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. I just got an email from Dane right now. Let me put this on to you. Let me give you this one. Hot off the presses. He's talking about Nor'easter. He is still the best. Here, let me give you this. Geoengineering Watch Global News, January 31st. Nor'easter bomb cyclone hammers Carolinas with record snow, intense winds. The biggest snow in years is falling in the southeast, triggering hundreds of accidents on slick roads. Snow and blizzards. Here's what it's about. I'm going to give you this. And you can do what you want. He is phenomenal. Great friend of mine. And there we go. That's the link. I just got it. Just got it now. Oh, Harp was big too. Here's Come Here Kitty says, I first found you when Bernie was running the first time. I've said many times you're the adult in the room. During crazy times, you're wise. We need you. Thank you. You know, I appreciate that. And also, some people got very upset with me because I said Trump's going to lose this thing because Trump wasn't taking it seriously. But, see, I got to tell you something. Let me go back to what's going on. Thank you. Remember, they'll tell you, you can't do something. You know how many people will be responsible? You can't keep a thing like this secret. You know how many people were responsible who knew about the Manhattan Project? There were 100,000 people, but it was compartmentalized. They didn't know what they were doing. This guy's making some trigger. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. We've been through this before. It takes a few people. Just a few people. Remember I told you, 9/11, I was red-pilled. And I was here. I was here that day. I'll never forget it. And when people were saying things like, you see, what? What do you see? Controlled demolitions. You know how hard it would be to wire that? See, everybody's an expert. I said, oh, really? Have you wired buildings before? I'm not suggesting that's what happened, but you're an expert in that too? Oh, yeah. Remember during OJ? Everybody was an expert in OJ. Remember, probably before your time. But they said everybody was a blood splatter expert. How come there wasn't more blood in the Bronco? How come there was any blood in the Bronco? What the hell are you talking about? You're a blood splatter expert? Yes, I got my law degree online too. I'm an expert. I know all about nutrition, the Bible, the Quran. It's incredible. These are people laughing at you because you're a nut and they know everything. Back to Dane Wigington. I'll never forget this. If you looked out every night, look out our window, you can see downtown. And there's Jersey. And when the sun goes down in the sleepy little town, when the sun hits a particular area, it shows all of the streaks, the hashtags, or octothorpes as they're called in the hashtags. And you see these back and forth. Come on. Oh, those are contrails. That's water vapor? Yeah, that's water vapor. You're an idiot. This has been going on forever. Forever. And they thought it was crazy. I said, look. Don't you remember World War II was like, these are... You think water vapor spreads out and just keeps going and then blocks the sun, causing a dimming? This is when you use the word chemtrails. You get the conspiracy theory. Call it geoengineering. Bill Gates, Harvard University. I've been through this before. I've been through this. We've been through COVID. We've been through everything. These people lie to you. Nobody ever tells you the truth. They want to lie to you because they just don't want to tell you the truth. They want you never to know anything. They want you to think you're losing your mind. They want you to stop asking them. Okay? So the thing about it is, I jumped on this Candace thing because I'll tell you what got me. They started calling her crazy. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Wait. Hold it. I've heard that before. I'm sensitive to that. Crazy? You think she's crazy? Would that everybody were as crazy as that? Did you hear junk yogurt and, pardon me. There we go. Hang on. This is disgusting. Hang on. There we go. Too dry. There we go. That's it. There we go. In an elevator? Oh. In a movie theater? Little help. Anyway, I'm a child. Don't yell at me. I've got issues. I love fart jokes. Kids love me. Love me. Parents hate me. I never grew up. Anyway. Tucker with junk yogurt, chank yogurt, and anise caper. I don't agree with anything that they're saying, but you know what? It goes to show you. Good for you, Tucker. I'd rather we talk to people that we agree with than calling everybody crazy. You know what I mean? When people call Alex Jones crazy. Oh, he said some things before. Haven't you? Haven't you? I like the way they say, Trump's crazy. Trump's crazy. Remember the guy before us? Wow. That's another thing, too. Number one, I don't know what MAGA is. I like this president. Why? There's nobody else. There's nobody else. I've got news for you. There's nobody else. If you don't like it, what are you going to do? What? I don't know about J.D. Vance. I don't know what the hell he's... I don't know. Trump is far from perfect. He says some of the most stupid things, but he's better than anything we've seen. He's better than anything we've seen. So people think, I've lost more friends. How many of you have? Oh my God, people still won't talk to me. Still, friends. I never even said I liked Trump. I just didn't denounce him. I didn't denounce him. I've got a friend of mine who says, I said, you went to that stupid No Kings march. He goes, what was that all about? You can't even tell me what that was. And I'm crazy? You're marching for something. Got another one too. Remember the people with the pussy hat? Remember that? Pardon my French. How this thing's supposed to look like some pudenda. Have they seen one? I'm just saying. Remember that with the pink hat with the squares? What is this? I'm crazy? I'm crazy. George Floyd, a drug addict who dies of an overdose? He was a thug and a... This is your hero? I'm crazy? Me. But that's okay. Okay. Really. Joe Biden walking around in Continent yelling, who ordered the veal cutlet? I'm crazy? Kamala Harris, or for those of you from West Tampa, Kamala, with her logoria, her logolalia, she's speaking this word, verbal incontinence. She's saying nothing. The past and the bridge or whatever, I don't know what she's talking about. Remember that? How about that weird daughter-in-law of hers? That weird, looks like an onion ring. Remember her? She was brilliant. These people were nuts, the whole group. And I'm crazy. You're going to vote for Kamala Harris. I'm crazy? Yeah, but Trump's got a bruise. It's called senile purpura. Get used to it. Hey, folks, any of you old codgers out there, you lose subcutaneous fat. You bump into something, you go, what the hell is this? It looks like the map of Europe on your... It's a bruise. It goes away. Trump's he might have some reflux problems. He should wear some compression socks. By the way, if anybody here on your feet, anybody here who's a waitress or waiter or somebody who's on their feet, get compression socks. You ever see these things? Fantastic. People, they wear them all the... Anyway, his ankles are swollen. They think he's losing his mind. We had a guy walking around who didn't know where he was. Whose son... Anyway. And I'm crazy. I'm crazy. You gotta be kidding me. Am I Republican? No. Am I a Democrat? No. What am I? I'm an American. That's me. So whoever goes along and says the right thing. Oh, this, by the way, too. I always show you this. I can't say it enough. The Constitution. That's who I am. Okay, fine. So what am I going to do? Okay. So they're always trying to find something wrong with me. They're always trying to find something. And you know what I'm talking about. You've seen this. People think you're crazy because you believe in something. And they resent your fortitude and your commitment. And I know I'm right. I know I'm right. And then all of a sudden Candace comes along. Oh my God. It's like, come on, girls. There's plenty of room on the boat. Let's go. Let's pick up Candace. She needs her help. Our help. We're there for you, hon. Whatever they say. Here's Kimberly says, your commentary is so on point. Thank you. I appreciate that. She needs us. She needs us. And there's more of us out there. How about that Ben Shapiro, that twit? What a waste. What an asshole. Has anybody talked to him? He's in that school of destiny. They talk real fast and they say nothing. Ben, do you think, seriously, let me just explain something. You think that speaking fast is a sign of your intellect? Is that it? Because I think you're doing this on purpose, because if you slow down what you're saying, it's gibberish. I really think people, honest to God, think that means something. Do you know who Ed Whitten is? Edward Whitten? He's probably the smartest man on the planet today. He speaks like he's... So I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. We're doing this stuff. All right? That's all. That's all. Let me tell you something right now, which is the most important thing in the world. Listen to this. You're always going to have people come up and say things. They're always going to attack you. They're always going to find something that you're doing wrong. Something that you said was wrong. You said this and you didn't say this. Get ready. If you don't like it, don't enter the fray. But most people realize, I like him, I like her, I like what they're saying. And all I have to offer you is common sense. That's it. That's it. And we have hit a nerve right now. We have hit a nerve. I've talked to people, and I'm saying this is the most interesting issue there is. It's not Candace, it's not Erica, it's not Charlie, it's not TPUSA. It's everything. And it's how this movement is going to tell that movement, you're not going to tell us what to do. Charlie meant a lot to us and his family. And if if Eric is not going to do it, we'll do it for her. That's it. Why? Because we want to. I don't have to get permission. Why are you so much into this? Because I am. There's Nora May says, you are the voice of reason. Thank you. Well, thank you. That's a very honorable thing to do. But it's a very simple thing. Why do I like this? Because I do. So why do you like Candace so much? Because I do. I don't have to explain this to you. She's right. She's 100% right. 100% right. Maybe not in every... I don't know. I like when they say, well, one time she said... We're not talking about one time. We're talking about now. So anyway, dear friends, could I do something right now very quickly, if you don't mind? Could I get a roll call? Could you give me just where you are so we can just see this incredible, the power. I'm from the west side. I'm in Hell's Kitchen, New York City right now. That's where I am live. It is 13 degrees here. Where's everybody from? Where's everybody from? Just give no addresses, of course. Look at this. We got Michigan. Let's just wait. Look at this. Colorado, Cincinnati, Jacksonville. This is incredible. Alabama. I like we get the foreigners. London, UK. Look at this. Beautiful. Miami. Oklahoma. Australia. Oh, love the Aussies. Except your government's nuts. Big Island, Hawaii, Ireland. Look at this. Can you believe this? There's nothing like this in the world. We have probably more people watching right now. And I'm just a little station. Can't compete with these people. With your help, and if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. Look at this. And there are people who are saying, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to interact. Don Lemon can't do this. Fox can't do this. Nobody can do it. You watch them. They don't give a damn what you think. It's not their position. It's not their position. We do. We talk. You talk to each other. It's incredible. This is the most powerful medium there is. Powerful, interactive, and it builds a loyalty that nobody can even compare it to. Nobody can even get near it. It's like nothing anybody has ever seen. It's like nothing we've ever seen. It blows my mind. And there are so many people out there, good people, smart people. And by the way, shout outs. I think you mentioned Brandon and other people, and there's the housewife. I'm sorry, I'm so bad with some of these names. You know what I'm talking about. She's very good. Original Titan says, what the hell is Tampon Tim still doing in office when Minneapolis is rioting while he siphons billions? That's a great question. There we go. There's a new member here. I don't know. That's their problem. Elon Omar, by the way, yes or no? You know that thing with the apple cider vinegar? Staged. Come on. Come on. Do you see that? Staged. Staged. Come on. Who believes that bullshit? Can you believe? Are you kidding? Elon. You know who we are? This guy comes in with a syringe and she's like this. Come here. I'm going to talk to him. Get away. Wait a minute. Wait. Who is this? Who is this? Yeah, she knew about this. Who is this guy? Come on. Let me tell you, if somebody comes in with something in a syringe, you're not going to run and say, oh my God, it's AIDS or something. She was like too tough. I'm not going to be afraid of him. Remember when George Bush, remember the guy threw the shoe at him? He was like ducking the shoe. It was like, Was it And Justice for All, or what was it? Where the Jack Warden, remember they were throwing the plates and the, anyway. We know this. We know this. We've seen this before. You can't fool us. It's like, don't even. We know false flags. We know agents provocateurs. We know this. How long have we been talking about Antifa? Forever. Forever. I've been talking about OTPOR. OTPOR. Remember them during Occupation Wall Street? Or Occupy Wall Street? I've been talking about that since then. And again, people look at me like, what are you talking? Butler, Pennsylvania? Come on. January 6th? Oh my God. It was a trespass. Ashley Babbitt? Nothing. Not a drop for her. They didn't need to kill her. What, they don't have any training over there? You mean to tell me whoever that cop was? What? You shot her? What do you think they're going to do to you? They didn't even threaten you. They didn't have any weapons. Not a peep. Come on. It's ridiculous. And what they did to this country, what they did to brave Americans, putting them underground like it's some kind of a gulag, some underground. I'll never forget that one. Never forget that one. Oh, no, no. What we need, my friends, is this, a revolution, a peaceful one, not in the streets. This is our revolution. We got to go out there. We got to vote. And let me tell you one thing, and I'm going to leave you with this. There's a lot of people out there that have gone to Candace and said, Candace, I don't really know what I am. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know. But I believe you. And I'm with you 100%. And I like you. And I like your style. So tell me what I should do. Let me refresh, by the way, says, can you shed light on Charlie's parents and their relationship with Erica? Do you know if his folks have been interviewed or spoken out since his death? Thanks. Thank you, Fresh. My questions? Exactly. I have no idea. I'm so cynical. I'm thinking, paid them off. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Kirkia. Any questions? Want some more? We're fine. Thank you. You're going to help with the kids, right? College fund? There we go. What do you want? Good. Not that you had anything to do with it, but we just don't need you right now acting up. So you would just say goodbye. That's all. Now, Erica has got to go. You know, TPUSA is going to say, forget it. We can't, no, she can't do this. No. And without her, there's nothing. Who? Remember that what was that weird kid, that skinny kid? Remember the blonde-haired kid? He was originally brought out. Remember him? He was who was he? It's the weirdest thing in the world. They brought him out, and he had a weird name, and he just went away. Then they brought in Ben Shapiro, and then Tucker was going to speak at TPUSA, and they had a big deal about this. What is going on here? Tucker is the second, could be the most second dangerous person around, but his style, he's too, I can't believe I'm saying this, too many subjects. He's diluted his, you know what I mean? He wants to be kind of like the Johnny Carson, the David Susskind, the Jack Parr of not conspiracy, but a variety of things. Religion and politics, and that's okay. You got to stick with something. You're too diffuse. And keep this junk yogurt business. Forget it. Anarchist burning. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody wants this. If you have trashed me and my beliefs consistently, and then all of a sudden, oh gee, we agree regarding Charlie, that ain't going to do it. Sorry. I don't need you. You're not adding any particular brilliance or any kind of limpidity to the subject that nobody else can do. No. I don't forget. Sorry. You got a lot of redemption to do before I change my mind. There's a lot of people out there who are just absolutely. And all these Hollywood people. Oh. Remember one thing. Remember. Where was the story? It was Moby, CIA, social media. Remember this story? There we go. January 12th, 2018. Let me give this to you from a thing called Fader, F-A-D-E-R. This was a story. Let me give it to you. This was something that was damn good. I'll give you right now. Look this up, my friends. This is a story. It says, Moby says, hang on here. It says, Moby says, CIA asked him to use his social media following to tell the Russia about Trump and Russia. They were like, this is the Manchurian candidate. Moby shared an Instagram in which he claimed friends in D.C. had passed along crucial information about Donald Trump's ties to Russia, the administration's collusion, the nefarious leader's need for war with Iran, and other salacious detail. And he says how his D.C. friends are actually the CIA. This is Moby. This was done then. So what I'm saying is, if you look at people like Rob Reiner, I'm not, that was a tragedy no matter what, with that lunatic, that kid. By the way, that's what meth does to you. That is meth. That's not schizophrenia. But what they do is they find somebody who's got a big following. Like, for example, De Niro. De Niro, they bought him Springsteen. I don't know what kind of a deal they made in the past, but they say, do us a favor. Clooney. Remember, they sold Clooney. At Clooney, they said, we're going to give you the Tony Award. He didn't get the Tony for Good Night and Good Luck. He wants the Academy Award. You ain't going to get that. They've been very short on this. Streisand, no. And then we got these stragglers like Jane Fonda. But since the beginning of time, the CIA, since the time that they funded the movie Fantasia and the MoMA and all of this wild impressionistic stuff, the CIA has been a part of our culture since the beginning, since OSS days. So that's what they're doing. That's why De Niro all of a sudden came out of nowhere with this remember that? To the point where De Niro, I didn't even think you could write. It was almost like, well, here's a guy, got a lot of ex-wives, not making a lot of movies, or he's making crap. I'm going to leave it at that. We've been on, my friends, for an hour and 22 minutes. It is indeed a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. And to all of our friends who super chatted, I wanted to thank you as it came in. That means so much to me. Thanks for your support. Please continue to follow my beloved Lynn Shaw at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Fight the fight against child predation and human trafficking. Lynn's Warriors. There's a big lawsuit coming up right now. Huge, as she talks about. This is the biggest lawsuit where they're going after big tech because of the addictive qualities they're taking social media and they're looking at it as a products liability case like they did with tobacco. It's monumental. Lynn's Warriors, follow her. And thank you for this, dear friends. I will have some questions following up. Let's continue the discussion. Like the video, subscribe. Bring your friends. Anybody want to do this again tomorrow? You tell me. I'm digging this. I am digging this. You tell me. You know what? I'll give it a shot. During the week, I do overnights. I'm always busy. So I might do a little bit earlier. We'll see. But you have been terrific. I love this. Have a great night, my friend. Please stay warm. It is now down to still 13 degrees. Ooh, wow. Colder than a well digger's ass, as they say. Until then, my friends, thank you so much. Again, subscribe. Please like this. It means so much. Have a great and glorious night. Tomorrow, February 1st. Huh? Ready. All right, my friends, until then, remember these final words. As we always say, the monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.